All right. Before we get started, we all should have received a message acknowledging that this meeting is being recorded. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. And I don't think we have any guests today, but my name is Ray Melendez, and I will serve you tonight as Sergeant of Arms. As we start another meeting, I'm going to ask everybody to do our best to avoid any distractions. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now let's pass this meeting on to Shay Greaves, VP of Education.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Wellington Toastmasters. How are you?
Great.
Yes, I have the honor of bringing this meeting into, well, actually our Sergeant of Arms has, but I have the honor of stepping in and serving as your VP of Education. Our wonderful President Shastri Stewart will be arriving today, so we will get to see his beautiful face. I'd like to thank you and remind you our mission of a Toastmaster is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. Who's here for greater self-confidence? Who's here for greater leadership skills? And most importantly, who's here for better communication skills? I think you're all in the right place. Welcoming any guests, I'd like to acknowledge. So we have an intimate group today. I'm trying to pull over. Yes, no guests today. I'm looking over, but it's good to see you, Jack. Good to see you, Justin and Denny. Just welcome you guys all. And we'd like to go ahead and call our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay Greaves, for stepping in.
Oh, and Stacy, our former president. I'd like to welcome her. Good to see your beautiful face.
Thank you, Shay, for that, for stepping in. I'm happy to serve as your Toastmaster this evening. My name is Sonia Garate, and the theme of tonight's meeting is Every Day is Earth Day. Now, where did I get that from? Let me show you what inspired the theme. Hope you can see that. It's a onesie that I put on my daughter, which basically is the same message, make every day Earth Day. And it's a reminder that every choice that we make today affects those coming behind us. So even though Earth Day was in April, let's take that sentiment and carry it with us daily. As Toastmaster of the Day, I serve as your Master of Ceremonies. And we have 3 sections of our meeting tonight: formal speeches, table topics, and evaluations. Remember, tonight, please use the chat to give feedback to our speakers and also to our functionaries. Throughout the meeting, our members have the opportunity to practice their listening, critical thinking, and management skills by serving in various roles. Tonight, Toastmaster Denny Lamore will be serving as your counter. Toastmaster Denny, please explain that role tonight. Oh, we don't hear you, Denny. No, I don't see that you're on mute, so maybe the mic is just not catching you. Nope, not hearing you. Here's what I'll do. I'll go through all of the
What
other
about
functions.
now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Go for it.
All right. My apologies, guys. Thank you again, Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose of the all counter is to note any word or sound used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections. And when we do hear a filler word or anything that is not supposed to be said, you'll see me flash this light right here. All right. That's all. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Denny. Toastmaster Jack Miller, please explain your role as grammarian, word master. You're on mute, Jack. There we are.
There, okay. Madam Toastmaster, one benefit of Toastmasters is that it helps people improve their grammar and word use. Being grammarian provides an exercise in expanding listening skills. I have several responsibilities: to introduce new words to members, to comment on the language used of the course of the meeting and provide samples of eloquence. The word of today is avarice. And I gotta read it here. I'll print it a different way, but avarice is to the intense selfish desire for wealth, possessions, or favor for one over another. The avarice way we humans treat our planetary gift of life is a threat to our grandchildren's grandchildren. And in theme with your meeting, the way we treat our planet, everything we do, we humans have been pretty harsh to our mother planet. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jack Miller.
Point of order. May I request that Jack Miller, you post the word where your name is, please, so we may have reference to the word of the day.
Thank you. Do it right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stacy. Moving on to the next functionary, Toastmaster Julie Graves. Could you please explain your role as timer tonight?
Yes, Toastmaster of the day. I will be the general timer for the meeting this evening. My name is Julie Graves. I am responsible for monitoring the time for each part of the meeting. I operate the timing signal to indicate speech length. Timing begins with the first definite verbal or nonverbal communication with the audience. As the general timer, whomever is speaking and has control of the meeting, please pay attention to the color red. Please pay attention to the red color behind me, as this means you have to wrap up where you are as quickly, professionally, and as efficiently as possible. Thank you. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie Graves. And as you can all see, Toastmaster Julie Graves is actually using a separate window, so it's not behind her, but a separate window where you will see time. Toastmaster Connie Andrews, could you please explain your role as General Evaluator tonight?
Yes, I can, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, Toastmasters. If one thinks of a club meeting as a project, then think of the General Evaluator as a quality control manager. I will be commenting on the overall flow of today's meeting and giving you feedback. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Connie Andrews. Toastmaster Shay Greaves, could you please explain your role as Table Topics Master?
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia. As Table Topics, I get the opportunity to serve a topic later on in our meeting, and we'll get more into those specifics later, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay Greaves. Now let's begin the first section of our meeting, which is formal speeches. Tonight we have 2 speakers. These speeches were prepared based on specific projects in our Pathways programs. Toastmaster Justin Gwynn, could you please provide us with the project information for our first speaker?
Certainly, Toastmaster of the Day. Our first speaker of the day will be Toastmaster Mayan Hammond. This speech project is evaluation and feedback. The purpose of this project is for the member to develop skills for delivering and receiving feedback. She will present a speech on a topic, receive feedback, and incorporate that feedback into her second speech. This is Mayana's second speech with the club, and please welcome Toastmaster Mayana Hammond.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin Gwynn. And before we bring our speaker on board, timer, could you please demonstrate the timing signals for this speech? And also this timing will be for our second speech as well, so we won't do this again before our second speaker, Toastmaster Julie Graves.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. I'll display the green card. I'll display the green card at 5 minutes. I'll display the yellow card at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. And I'll display the red card. No, I apologize. I display the yellow card at 6 minutes, the red card at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. You will then have 30 seconds to conclude your speech. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie. I just want to make a slight adjustment that
Sure.
you will show the red at 7 minutes, Mayana, and from there you'll have 30 minutes to wrap up, which means the complete length will be 7 minutes and 30 seconds. The speech title tonight is Self-Awareness, How to Cultivate It. Mayana Hammond will be delivering a speech on self-awareness and how to cultivate it in your life. Self-awareness has become the latest management buzzword, and by cultivating it, research suggests that we are more confident and more creative. Mayana will offer guidance for how you can learn to see yourself more clearly. Please welcome Toastmaster Mayana Hammond.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Today, I will be talking about self-awareness and how you can cultivate it. Have you ever wondered why the same types of stressful situations keep happening in your life over and over and over again, like the repeat of a song that you dislike? Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, what is causing me to continue having these life stressors? Is it me? If you're asking yourself, is it me? You're off to a great start in becoming more self-aware. Self-awareness is defined in the Oxford Dictionary as having a conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. When we see ourselves clearly, we are more confident, more creative, we make sounder decisions, build stronger relationships, and communicate more effectively. Even though most people believe they are self-aware, self-awareness is a true rare quality. Only 10 to 15% of people fit the criteria. I will be discussing suggestions that offer practical guidance for how you can learn to see yourself more clearly. There are two broad categories of self-awareness. The first category is internal self-awareness, which represents how clearly we see ourselves, our own values, our passions, our aspirations, reactions, and our impact on others. Internal self-awareness is associated with higher job and relationship satisfaction, personal and social control, and happiness. It is negatively related to depression, anxiety, and stress. The second category is external self-awareness, which is understanding how people view you. People who know how others see them are more skilled at showing empathy and adhering to others' perspectives. When it comes to internal and external self-awareness, it's tempting to value one over the other. To become more self-aware, you must actively work on both seeing yourself clearly and getting feedback to understand how others see you. Highly self-aware people actively focus on balancing the scale. The bottom line is that self-awareness isn't one truth, it's a delicate balance of two distinct, even competing viewpoints. Experience and power can hinder self-awareness. One's own experience can lead to a false sense of confidence about your own performance. It can also make us overconfident about our level of self-knowledge. If you want to improve your self-awareness, seek feedback from loving critics. That is, people who have your best interest in mind and are willing to tell you the truth about yourself. To prevent overreaction or overcorrection based on one person's opinion, get gut check difficult or surprising feedback with others. It is also widely assumed that introspection, examining the causes of our own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, improves self awareness. The problem with introspection isn't that it's categorically ineffective, it's that most people are doing it incorrectly. The most common introspective question is why? We ask this when we're trying to understand our emotions and our behaviors or our attitudes. As it turns out, why is a surprisingly ineffective self awareness question. Therefore, to increase productive self insight and decrease unproductive rumination, we should ask what, not why. What questions help us stay objective, future focused, and empowered to act on our own insights? When you focus on building both internal and external self awareness, seek honest feedback from loving critics and ask what instead of why. You can learn to see yourself more clearly and reap the rewards and increased self knowledge delivers. And no matter how much progress you make, there's always more to learn. That's one thing that makes the journey of self awareness so exciting. Thank you, everyone. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayana Hammonds. That was a very interesting speech. Internal and external self-awareness, definitely something to keep in mind. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight. Next up, Toastmaster Stacey Kessler, could you please provide us with the project information for our second speaker?
Absolutely. It would be an honor and a privilege to present to you our Toastmaster, Sujana. Her purpose this evening of this project is to introduce or review a basic presentation software. So she's going to be using different strategies for creating and utilizing slides to support or enhance her speech. And this evening, I wanted everyone to know that Susanna is looking to focus on the content of her message and the relevance to the audience. So as you're giving feedback to Susanna, this is what she's looking for and she's requested. She says she struggles with vocal variety, and this evening she hopes to improve that. And as an evaluator, I invite each one of you to get to know what it is that each person that is doing either a functionary role or a speech, that we all know what one another is working on so that we can all incorporate our feedback. And I am complete. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stacey Kessler. And thank you, Jack, for making sure that we flashed the avarice definition there. We got it. Thank you. The speech title is The Power of People Development. Sujana will be sharing with us the value of people development, and her own experiences around it. Please welcome Toastmaster Sujana Tulahar.
Thank you, everyone. I will be sharing my screen. Let's do a test. Can everybody see my screen? Do you recall a time in your career when you made a big mistake? A big mistake. And your manager approached you, not to scold you, but to guide you and coach you. What this experience did for you down the road was uplifted your self spirit that was in the toilet because you made a big blunder. And also, you get to trust your own abilities because of your supervisor. Have you been in that situation? This is the essence of people development. Good evening, my fellow Toastmaster dignitaries. We don't have guests tonight. So what is people development all about? Look at this baby plant. When the baby plant gets the right nutrients like soil, water, sunlight, perhaps fertilizer or pesticides, it will grow into a big plant. And there's no difference between employees as well. If we provide employees the right environment and provide them coaching and guidance, they will thrive. This is what people development is all about, positioning employees for growth so that they can reach the highest potential. There are two areas people development focuses on. A, it focuses on the strength of an employee, helping you expand something that you are already good at. And B, helping you build awareness around your shortcomings so you know how to manage it well. And the sweet spot of people development, where most of the companies strive to get but fail oftentimes, is the sweet spot is the intersection of employees' passion with the need of an organization at that given moment. All right, let's take a look at some pictures, shall we? Take a look at this. These are two employees at work. What comes to your mind when you look at these two employees? Now, get ready. Here's another picture, very different, actually contrast to picture number one. They all are smiling. Looks like they're very productive. Who is more engaged in this? Who is more productive if we compare these two working scenarios? And who do you think is going to stay for a longer haul in the company? I bet all of you have picked the picture number two, not one. Look at them. They look so happy in what they are doing. I almost want to be a fly on the wall to see what they are talking about. And do you think if somebody is really happy and fulfilled in what they are doing, why would they look for different opportunities? So how can we have employees like this attitude? There is an invisible hand, my fellow Toastmaster, and that invisible hand is companies practicing people development. And now get ready. I would share with you some personal story that I have experienced. One of the tool, a powerful tool is 101. I know our meetings, our schedule is jam-packed with meetings already, but this meeting is a very critical one if you are a manager or even if you are an employee. And let me tell you why. I have been in this journey with my boss for a couple of years, and boy, some of the things that I have accomplished now, I never knew I had that in me. He had really shown me what I'm capable of. In 101, we talk about me. That's right. 101 is all about the employee, nothing to do with the company or the revenue. But ROI is huge when you give focus on 101, like that plant that you earlier saw. It's just adding the nutrients. It's the same for 101 on employees. And in this 101, I talk about my career goals, my aspiration, the challenges that I'm facing, and also the guidance that my supervisor provides. And little nudge or push in the direction that I am afraid to take. And when I get that anchor supporting me saying, you can do it, I've gone through it and have seen the performance that I'm able to contribute. And not only that, I have been able to pass this baton onto my direct reports. And I've seen them grow and thrive in what they are good at. Some of the folks that are under me are super technical, but yet practicing this one-on-one, providing them constant effective feedback has really helped. And as a manager, what is really rewarding is somebody else coming to me and telling me how great my people are doing, how they're thriving. So any managers over here, are you guys practicing one-on-one already? If not, what are you waiting for? One-on-one is all about the employees. This is a platform to show that people matter. They are valuable, and return, no question about employee engagement, which results in the productivity, which in results with your ROI for the company. And for employees, if you're not manager, that's okay. This is for you too. Go and ask for your supervisor to have more time with you, because it's a win-win situation for all. And lastly, tonight, I would like to leave you guys with a powerful thought from our very own Simon Sinek. He said, the leaders who get the most out of their people are the leaders who care most about their people. Thanks. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sujana Chuladar. Wonderful information. And I like that I have to go and ask for a one-on-one. Currently, I'm self-employed, so I will have a one-on-one with myself, and I'm gonna have a glass of wine, and we will have some deep review of my work. Thank you very much, Sujana. Can we please have a brief timer's report, Toastmaster Julie Graves?
Both speakers were within the time limits.
Thank you. And at the beginning of the meeting, I missed the invocation. So at this time, I would like to call on Toastmaster Michelle Gonzalez to provide our invocation tonight.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia Garate. I would like to share with you a few takeaways from the movie, The Avatar.
Which one? Avatar?
The Avatar.
Okay.
The greeting, I see you, in the Navi language. To see is a cornerstone of Navi philosophy. It is to open your mind, embrace your heart, to be present, and to embrace Pandora, as if encountering it for the first time. I ask you today to see the earth as if you are embracing it for the first time. Do not harm our planet. We only have this one. So let us not stuff it up. The Avatar has a #1 compelling message of environmental sustainability. So if your corporate structure is raping and pillaging this earth, please ask them to stop. Stop the avarice and greed. The last message, everything is connected. For those of you who have seen the Avatar movie, the root system of the forest were completely interconnected and acted as one nervous system for the planet Pandora. As Toastmasters, we are all interconnected. Namaste. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle, for your lovely invocation. And moving on to our second section of the meeting, table topics. This is a chance for members to develop their extemporaneous speaking skills. That's basically impromptu, off the cuff, fly by the seat of your pants speaking. Guests we don't have tonight? Nope. So then all of us have a chance to participate. Please welcome Toastmaster Shay Greaves as our topics master.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. I just encourage you to pin the timing, the time signaling to your window. So that's the one that says Timekeeper Julie. You have 1 to 2 minutes to provide us with an impromptu speech. I encourage you to get super present and focus now. I will be calling you after I have stated the topic. I'm now sharing my screen. Please let me know if you can see. Today's theme is Let's Make Every Day Earth Day. Your prompt is, it's that time of year again, time to remind everyone to take care of our Earth. You must excite or inspire your audience to care more deeply with the following photos. Toastmaster Toastmaster Shastri Stewart. Please unmute yourself. We cannot hear you.
What was the question?
So use the following photo to inspire your audience to care more deeply about Earth Day.
All right, good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dignitaries, and apparently we don't have any guests tonight. That's a great question, Shane. And I'm glad that you asked me that question because I just came back from a trip from Georgia and it was a fabulous trip, let me tell you. I had the opportunity to sit down in silence and meditate, and I could hear all the birds chirping and the wind against the leaves. It was the first time in a long time I didn't hear traffic or noise or construction. It was so beautiful. Being in nature gives you the opportunity to see how beautiful this earth is, to see all the animals, and to see how we're connected, like Michelle stated. So if you see someone damaging or raping our planet, please let them know. Say something, speak up, use your voice. And with that, I close. Thank you, Shay.
Thank you. Just a quick check. Are you able to see my screen, everyone? Okay. Thank you, Shastri Stewart. Heon Green. Using the following photo, please inspire us to care more deeply about Earth Day. Please unmute yourself.
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. When you see a picture like this, what comes to your mind? Of course, it brings you immense happiness and tranquility and feeling how lucky we are that we are able to be in that kind of nature, in person, taking in the smell, the environment, the noise, like Shastri mentioned, or no noise at all the good things. And while I was feeling lucky, I remember this scene because I was right there, and this scene you can see in Alaska. And while I was looking at it, I was thinking, oh my gosh, how nice, how wonderful would it be if my children and grandchildren come here and see the same scene again. It really compelled me to want to preserve this and share my love for the nature with other people so that they in turn can do their part in preserving this pristine nature for generations to come. Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Hyun Green. Toastmaster Ray Melendez. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay Greaves. I wonder if the next planet we destroy will get its own holiday. You know, it's interesting to see. I am a person. I enjoy even actually some of the prior, like the prior screen that you actually showed, seeing the nature that we have here in our planet Earth. And not everybody goes about and appreciates it. I see it here, you know, living here in the city of Palm Beach, in South Florida, that is, how we come about and don't necessarily know how to appreciate what we have, what we're living for on here, from just taking a walk on a natural and one of our local paths, seeing nature here. We then all of a sudden see trash on there going about. So not everybody goes about and appreciates what we have out there, and we tend to get to that point where a lot of times we don't realize what we're doing, that we're actually destroying and not necessarily appreciating and conserving what we have out there. We don't go and take advantage of what we have on there and use it as as appreciative as we should. I think it would be great to see, as you said, if our next planet, we would go about and treat it slightly differently.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Ray Melendez. Toastmaster Jack Miller.
A green earth. What a fun place to be. You know, it was once that way. Before any animals started running around the planet, it was all green and blue. Water and vegetation, insects, animals growing. Then, as human evolution and the fingerprints of God would have it, the animals started coming, and then these human things, these things that had wisdom, that could actually understand that there was a God, but had the ability to create and to use wisdom and to change the world the way the world had never been changed before. And they started using old plants. They figured out how they could burn coal, how they could fire up the environment, create electricity, give us air conditioning, refrigeration, all these awesome things that we have now. And in the return, we started saving life and protecting life, and all of a sudden, we're ending life, the life on the planet. We've taken our wisdom, we've leached the planet, we've used old sunlight. Instead of living with nature, we've been living off nature. Let's get back to living with nature. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to check with our timekeeper. How are we on time? Please unmute yourself.
We have enough for a few more. We have like 5 more minutes.
Okay.
7:41. Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie.
I'm sorry.
Toastmaster.
Yes, we do have more time for probably 1 or 2 more.
1 or 2 more. Okay. Toastmaster Denny.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Can everyone hear me? Yes. Excellent. All right. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. If that doesn't explain everything already, I don't know what else can. Because we all come from this nature. We are all a part of this nature. And it is very sad to see the way we've suspended from taking care of ourselves, which reflects to how we've been taking care of this beautiful earth. So I'd like us to take a moment to look deeper into nature, into the ways that we've been hurting ourselves and nature. And maybe then we can understand a bit of how to take care of ourselves a bit better, take care of our surroundings, the people around us, educate each other, educate ourselves. Because nature is so deep. It's truly a well we will never suspend from drawing from. And to say that we're destroying it is truly disappointing. I like to think that we still have a chance and an opportunity to save our planet, save ourselves. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of determination, and we're going to have to look very deep. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Denny Lamore. And we're at 7:38. Do we still have time for one more? Okay, I'd like to call on Toastmaster Miss Stacy Kessler. Please unmute yourself.
Abusing the earth is the same as abusing our families. How can we still be so unaware of this? Fellow Toastmasters, dignitary Heian Green, look into this child's eyes. What do you see? Do you see your reflection? Do you see that the earth is painted on his face? Do you feel that we are in the womb of this earth and we are the children that are granted the ability to be able to make this earth our playground? Do you see the innocence in this child's face? Look at him smiling. Do you smile when you look around at all of the gifts that we have been granted on this earth? How do you treat this earth? For me, I make this earth my playground. My vision is to come from a place of unconditional love, unshakable peace, and to live life in the state of joy. And right now, I am mesmerized by this child's eyes because I see all of our reflections within this young man, as we were all once in the feelings and the sensation of being in our innocence. Look again into this child's eyes. Do you see the beauty that reflects back to you? How are you treating yourself? Because how we treat ourselves is how we are treating everyone else. including our own home, planet Earth. Make your Earth your home and live in the womb, celebrating life as watching it ripple into you, your beloved ship, your children, your families, because everything you say matters. You are all seen, heard, and felt. Fellow Toastmasters, it's been an honor.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stacy. And thank you for all of our participants. I'd like to repeat, we had Stacy Kessler, Denny Lamore, Jack Miller, Ray Melendez, Heon Green, and Shastri Stewart. I'd like to hand it back over to none other than Sonia Garate.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay Graves, for your wonderful table topics and for keeping so much within the theme. Toastmaster Julie Graves, could we please get a brief timers report for table topic speakers?
With the exception of Stacy, who spoke for 3 minutes and 7 seconds, all table topic speakers were within the allotted time.
Thank you. Moving on to our third section of the meeting, the gift of instant feedback, and a key part of the success of Toastmasters. Please welcome Toastmaster Connie Andrews.
Before we go there, do we want to launch our polls for the
If you're ready, I assume that you wouldn't be, but since you're rocking and rolling,
ready?
go for it. Use us, Connie.
Ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to launch the table topics now that we have it here. Ending 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ray, for that. And now, to lead our evaluation section, please welcome Toastmaster Connie Andrews.
Thank you, Toastmaster Garate. Evaluating Toastmaster Mayana Hammonds, please welcome Toastmaster Justin Gwynn.
Thank you to Toastmaster Connie. Mayana, very excited to have you speak again today and so quickly after your icebreaker. I think number one, you picked a great topic. I know you were struggling a little bit with deciding how to pick a topic for this one, and this one is quite frankly is hard to pick a topic for this one. You're new, you don't know what you want to quite say yet or talk about yet, and feel for the club. And but I did think you picked a great topic, and that certainly came through your organization of your speech. You provided 2 great examples of the types of self-awareness, both internal self-awareness and external self-awareness. You gave great examples. You spoke about each one of those, what those mean, and I think you did a very good job of organizing that out, helping us understand the different types and what they were. And from the get-go, your smile and your presence just brings the audience in, and I think that's something that's fantastic about you, and certainly look forward to many more times of that. And I think you continue to have that smile throughout your speech, and that just overall brings an audience in even more. Also, your comfort level as well. You just seem very, very comfortable up there. We just love seeing that smile, seeing that comfort level. You don't always get that when you first start speaking, so that just comes naturally to you. It seems, at least I feel like it to you, but externally it seems that way. Some constructive feedback that I have for you, and then just as you said, seek honest feedback from people who have your best interest in heart, and know that My feedback comes from a loving place. With your intro, you started out by saying, today I'll be talking about, and then you went into your intro. We don't need that today I'll be talking about. We already know what you're going to be talking about today. You've already been introduced by Sonia. Just you had a great intro. Just get right into it. Just start off with it and capture the audience's attention right away. You used a definition from Webster's or Oxford. I'm not sure. You defined it in some way, and the audience cares more what you define it as than what Webster's does. So talk about what you define it as. Don't tell us what Oxford. Nobody wants to know what dictionary definitions. We want to hear what you think about it, how you define it, and what it means to you. We could also tell that you were reading and you had cards. That is typical. I do that as well sometimes. But if you're not really practicing a lot your speech, it just can seem, and we can tell very easily that you are reading, and it can be monotone. So the vocal variety wasn't there, and you have such good presence and such good smile and such good personality. We want to see that. We want that to come out in your speech, and you want that to come out in your speech. But when you're reading, it just comes off as a bit monotone. So it's just something that I think you can work on as well. And also when you have the cards in your hand, we don't see the gestures, so have some gestures. We're not seeing that as well. And I think there was a couple of missed opportunities that you had to engage the audience further. You asked some rhetorical questions, and you didn't give us a chance to think about those questions or have us raise our hand and engage the audience. So allow for that time, allow that break, and engage the audience more. Overall, I think this can definitely be a great speech. I know that you can do it. I think you should, try to practice a bit more, and it'll come out. But great job, and I'm looking forward to the next one next week. Thanks, Miana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin. I think we're going to backtrack a little bit, and if we could have the timer give us the timing signals for evaluations. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, let me see. Oh, I'm off. Thank you, General Evaluator. I'll display the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. And the speaker will be clapped off at 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, timer. Evaluating Toastmaster Sujana Tuldahar, please welcome Toastmaster Stacy Michelle Kessler.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Do you recall a time in your career where you made a big mistake, Susanna? Fellow Toastmasters, our dignitary who is so honored, Susanna wanted to focus this evening on her message and the relevance to the audience. She said that she struggles with vocal variety, and she was looking to improve this evening. I must say, Susanna, you absolutely excelled in excellence in your messaging to us as your audience. Your comfort level in your speaking in front of us as an audience has increased tremendously. Your confidence shows, your clarity, your PowerPoint presentation. It was clean, it was clear, it was concise, and it had great correlation to all of the points that you made this evening. I felt like the effectiveness of your slides was so relevant to your topic. The execution of how you shared was level 5. The level of engagement that you got from myself and everyone else I felt was completely relevant to all of us, how we really got to ponder and think about everything you shared. I loved the invisible hand that you brought in, which to me represented what happens behind the scenes, and how you shared with us your one-on-ones with your story. You brought in your story beautifully, you showed vulnerability, And I must say, it was quite inspiring to me that your company and the management of your company, they're not motivated by avarice. It seemed to me like your company is motivated to have their people feel like they matter, be seen, be heard, and be felt. And that was inspiring to hear from a company that you work for, Susanna. And of course, you could tell by the quality of the person you are that your company has given you this opportunity to be a Toastmaster. Things I may request to you in the future could look like your vocal variety. I know you said you wanted to work on that this evening, and I feel like you're at the point now where hearing your voice when you speak gets to come from a place of your heart. And the longest journey you'll ever take as a human being is from your head to your heart. So drop into your heart, feel the audience as you begin to pause when you ask us a question. You mentioned that we didn't have any guests this evening. No need to mention that. Just keep rolling with that. And I want to say to you, Susanna, any management would be so proud of you. Anybody would be so honored to have you in their life. And I am going to put this back to our general evaluator of the evening, Connie Andrews.
That was very inspiring. I lost my place. Okay, so let's go at this time, let's go for the grammarian report. Toastmaster Jack Miller.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Wow, what a meeting. I feel like I've been in a Tony Robbins on the environment. This has been fabulous. Starting out with let's make each day Earth Day is right on. It's such a great topic to work with, and the words themselves are something to live by. So from the grammarian standpoint. Mayana talked about, see self more clearly. And I can't write whole sentences. There were so many really powerful sentences, but as soon as you start to write down the whole sentence, I miss it all. So I had to go to a few key words from a few of you because there were so many great ones. But see self more clearly and introspection, really wondering who you are, learning yourself. Seek feedback from others, another powerful something. We tend to get in our own worlds and listen to those that love us. I know I don't always do it, but I try. I love you, honey. Susanna went into people development, the intersection of passion with the needs of the moment. When I heard that one and talking to people, the intersection of passion with the needs of the moment, how powerful is that? And realizing that if you've got a need, you get passion, you get a team, where she showed that together. It was great. Michelle, you went into my favorite movie of all times, Avatar. Can't go into all the quotes you did, but it was so inspirational that I've never watched a movie as many times as I've watched that one, and I hope to watch it more soon. Stacy, you as always come across so powerful, so beautiful with your words of eloquence. And I'm going to close it with one of the words you helped close it with was excel in excellence. If we can walk away today excelling in excellence, we will make Earth Day a great day. God bless, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jack Miller. Our counters report. May I please have Mr. Denny for the counters report?
All right. Can everyone hear me? Excellent. Excellent. Counters report. General evaluator. The total number of fillers used by the club today is a whopping 26. The most fillers used by a member was 7. The most commonly used filler word today is ah. Used roughly 10 times today. The following Toastmasters did not use any filler words during the meeting. Toastmaster Connie Andrews, Toastmaster Michelle, Toastmaster Mayana, Toastmaster Shujan, Toastmaster Stacy, Toastmaster Jack, Toastmaster Hayan, Toastmaster Shastri. I will not include myself due to bias reasonings.
Everybody but Justin, you can just say it, it's fine.
That concludes the all counters reports for today. Thank you.
This is so much fun. So our meeting started, I believe it started 1 or 2 minutes after the allotted time. It was noted that there were no guests, and we did not acknowledge our dignitary from the beginning because I don't believe she was there from the beginning.
That's correct. I was late.
Okay.
Don't worry about me, please.
The most important part is that you made it. So we're so
Yeah.
glad that you are here. Toastmaster of the day led everybody in applause. Our meeting roles were explained, and we have become really good at our transitions from one speech to another, from one evaluation to another. When I hear Sonia commenting, I can always, and I feel that you may feel the same way, and maybe acknowledge with a reaction that when I hear Sonia commenting after the speakers have spoken, I know that she is intently listening to what the speakers are saying. And that's very important, that acknowledgement, because that can be easily faked, but you don't. You really tune in on what everybody is saying, Sonia. So I think that's great. And I think that's something that, we all should do. I believe the meeting will end on time. The theme was stated. The topics were appropriate to the audience. The members were called in the appropriate order, which is great. We're getting better and better at that. And some things that I wanted to say, our table topics, I thought they were great. We got out of that boring kind of stuff of asking the question and picking somebody. So now we're into pictures. So maybe this is our spring thing, and it's great. It's interesting. It's something to look forward to. All right, very good. Our timers reports, what is this? Hold on for a second. Timing for evaluators. Oh wait, we did that already. Forgot to keep the timekeepers report for the evaluators. Okay, were all evaluators within their time?
They were, well, yes, the evaluators were within their time period.
Thank you. And that's what's great. We all hold each other accountable during this space on Monday nights. So I think one of the important things that I observe is with all of the good, juicy things that are going on, I feel that pretty soon we're going to be in the room and we're going to be standing at that podium and we're going to be speaking without notes, because that is the way Toastmasters is. So for some of us, it's going to be like, oh no, do we have to do this again? And for some of us, it's going to be, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do it this way. So I think that that's something that we can start practicing now, for all of us. I've done it too. I've looked at my notes where if I was in the room, I wouldn't be doing it and I would have been internalizing it. So let's just keep that in mind, that from going forward, you know, every time that we're on Zoom, forget that we're on Zoom and that you're talking directly to us. Justin, so I wanted to make a comment with Justin because you had some great comments for your evaluation, but I felt like you had to breathe in between your sentences. Because I think that if you breathe, like I need to breathe sometimes, you wouldn't have the ahs and the ohs. And I think that would be a great help for you, is just to pause. The pause is better than the ohs, the ahs, and the you knows. Okay, but overall, there's always great improvement. And I love how you smile. In the beginning, you would never smile, and now you do. And of course, Stacy, I mean, what can you say? You nailed it. It was beautiful. It really, really got to me. Sujana, you are an incredible speaker. And sometimes I just want to reach into the camera and like, come on, smile, you know, your vocal variety. And I know it's there. And I have a feeling that with you, it's going to be easier and it's going to come to you when you're in person, because we're going to be there live. So I know that more great things are coming from you. Overall, it was a great meeting. I truly enjoyed it. And I know that you did too, by your smiles and your applause and your comments. And how lucky are we to be on planet Earth and to tune in every Monday night for Toastmasters. Back to you, Toastmaster Sonia Garate.
Thank you, Toastmaster Connie, for your evaluations tonight. Ray, can we vote now for our evaluators? Yes, okay. Stand by for our votes, and then we will have our winners.
Ending poll, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wonderful. And Ray, since you have the results, could you please present our awards tonight?
Why not? In first place for formal speaker, give a round of applause to Mayana Hammonds. In first place for table topics, let's give a round of applause for Mr. Jack Miller. And in first place for evaluator, let's give a round of applause for Stacy Kessler.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ray, and congratulations to our winners. So thank you all for being here tonight. It's been my pleasure to serve as your Toastmaster of the day. It's a role I haven't had for a while, and I forgot how much fun and how much challenge there is in the role. So please welcome all of you to step into it and try it out. Please welcome our president, Toastmaster Shastri Stewart.
Awesome job, Sonia. Thank you so much for doing a wonderful job. And you look wonderful tonight as well. Great job. And I'm assuming you will be our Toastmaster for next week?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Awesome. So we do have a Toastmaster. Please, within 48 hours, would like you to sign up for a role. If you did have a role tonight, please sign again for a second week in a row. A few announcements. It's 8:05, so I'll go through these really quickly. On May 17th, we are planning to have our physical meeting. So that's exciting. We are actually in the planning mode right now for that meeting on May 17th. So we will go there on May 10th just to prep, to make sure that we have all the equipment and what is necessary, and then we'll do the physical meeting on the 17th. Just so you know, we'll still have Zoom, so it'll be a hybrid. So whoever is not able to attend can attend via Zoom. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about our executive team. It's close to the end of the year, or for our year, which is the end of June. We'll have to pass the baton to a new team potentially, and Stacy is the head recruiter for that team. And you know, for me specifically, it has given me a lot of opportunity to grow as a person and to see the type of people that is made up of Wellington Toastmasters, to build that network, you know, to pay it forward what older members paid into you. So if you're thinking of maybe helping the executive team or being a helper or an actual executive member, please reach out to Stacy so that we could have a full team for our president, our new president coming in. All right, so it's 8:06. Anything else?
Just clarifying, Stacy is is leading the recruiting committee.
Yes, yes, she is. What was the committee again? Nomination committee. Yes, nomination committee. Yeah. So Stacy is the guru for that. So please see Stacy if you'd like to do that. Also, it looks good on the resume too. So just so you know. All right, that's it. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Good night,